Even as one of the earlier racing games for the 8-bit NES, released in 1987, I'd say that this game really does live up to its name. Rev up your retro engines. It's time to check out the totally rad RAD RACER, developed by Square. Rad. Alright, now let's see if we can set a record for how many times we can use the word rad in this review. So, this rad little racing game has you racing through various rad courses with either the rad Ferrari 328 or an equally rad F1 racer. The choice is purely cosmetic though. Both cars perform identically. It's pretty rad. The play controls here are simple, effective, and also rad. You can steer using the D-pad, accelerate and brake with the A and B buttons, and you can also hold the up button to kick it into high gear, a turbo velocity that never runs out of juice. And you'll hit a totally rad max speed of 255 miles per hour. I guess that's as much as the Nintendo can handle. You'll need to safely navigate the twists and turns of every course, avoid the other cars, and reach checkpoints before running out of time. Usually if you crash more than twice, you can expect a game over. But sometimes you might get lucky and can coast through to the next checkpoint. Rad! So, Rad RACER is pretty challenging, but it's addictive and fun enough to warrant many playthroughs. Part of that excitement probably comes from the really rad soundtrack, which you can switch songs at any time during the race with the down button. Notably, this soundtrack is one of the earlier works by Nobuo Uematsu, who you might know as the composer for most of the Final Fantasy series. The first theme is especially memorable for me. It's so freaking rad. And Homestar Runner fans might also recognize it as the foundation for Stinko Man's theme song. Oh yeah, and I definitely need to mention another really rad feature. Get out your 3D glasses. Wait for it. Oh wow, rad. That's right, you can play Rad RACER in 3D with a simple press of the select button. The original game was packaged with free 3D glasses, the old school red and blue kind. Although the Japanese version, which is known as Highway Star, was compatible with the obscure Famicom 3D system hardware, a crazy set of goggles that would hook up to the Famicom and provide 3D-esque graphical enhancements to a handful of games, which could be seen as a precursor to the modern 3DS, or maybe even the not-so-rad Virtual Boy. Oh man, video game history is rad. And so, even after all these rad years, Rad RACER is still rad. The only criticism that could deem it unrad could certainly be its uncanny resemblance to Sega's Outrun, which was released to arcades the year prior. But for NES owners, this was the best racing game for the console at the time, and the gameplay is rad enough for it to stand on its own. So if you like rad games, get off your rad ass and pop this rad cartridge in. And if you can beat the first level with a power glove, like Lucas did in that rad movie The Wizard, you deserve a rad award. It's Rad RACER.